When we speak of the Aghoris, the image that usually rises before the mind is of ash-smeared men with long jata, sitting in cremation grounds, performing rituals that seem forbidden to ordinary society. But hidden behind this popular image lies a truth that shocks most people, that there are also female Aghoris. Women who walk this most difficult path of renunciation, of fearlessness, and of complete surrender to Shiva. And when we ask the question, are female Aghoris more powerful than male Aghoris? We enter a subject that is rarely spoken, even in the deepest spiritual circles. To answer this, we must first understand what an Aghori truly is. The word Aghora itself means beyond fear, beyond darkness. An Aghori is not one who merely sits in cremation grounds or smears ash on their body. An Aghori is one who has dissolved all dualities, good and bad, pure and impure, life and death, man and woman. They move into a space where the entire world is seen as Shiva. In this state, the categories we cling to collapse. But before one reaches there, the journey is marked by practices so extreme that most human beings cannot even imagine undertaking them. And here is the first secret. When a woman chooses this path, her challenges are far more intense than those faced by a man. Why? Because from the very birth of a girl, society binds her in expectations. She is taught how to sit, how to dress, how to speak, how to behave. She is told that her worth lies in how well she fulfills her roles as daughter, wife, mother. She is surrounded by rules that are deeper and more suffocating than those placed on men. So when such a woman throws everything away, when she walks into the cremation ground and declares, "I am no longer bound by your laws," that leap is far greater, far more courageous. In Sanatan Dharma, the feminine principle is called Shakti. Without Shakti, Shiva himself is Shava, a corpse, motionless, without power. It is the Shakti that gives energy, that moves the universe, that creates and destroys. The male Aghori represents consciousness, the stillness of Shiva. The female Aghori represents Shakti, the movement, the fire, the life force. When the two unite, there is completeness. But when the feminine walks alone as an Aghori, she carries within her the entire energy of Shakti, untamed and raw. This is why many masters have said, the tapasya, the sadhana, the inner fire of a female Aghori burns more intensely than that of her male counterpart. One secret that very few know is that the tantric rituals of female Aghoris are different from men. Where a male Aghori may meditate on dissolving desire, a female Aghori uses desire itself as a tool to transcend. Where a male Aghori may embrace solitude, a female Aghori invokes the energy of the mother, connecting to creation and destruction simultaneously. She is not only rejecting society, she is rejecting even the deepest conditioning of her body and mind. There are stories in the oral traditions of Kashi and Kamakya of women who became Aghoris, and whose presence was said to terrify even the most seasoned male practitioners. Not because they were violent, but because their gaze carried the fire of Shakti itself. They had crossed boundaries that men could not even imagine crossing. Their rituals were shrouded in mystery, sitting alone in burning ghats, meditating on the corpse, drinking from the kapal, invoking the goddess in forms both terrifying and tender. Now, the question arises, does this make them more powerful? The word power itself must be understood carefully. In ordinary language, we think of power as domination, control, or strength. But in the path of the Aghori, power means the ability to dissolve the self. The one who can burn the ego most completely, the one who can destroy all attachment, the one who can see Shiva in all. That one is the most powerful. And here, the female Aghori often walks faster than the male, because a woman has been conditioned all her life to put others before herself, to dissolve her own desires for the sake of family, to endure pain silently, to carry the burden of expectations. When such a woman turns to the path of Aghora, she is already trained in surrender, in patience, in sacrifice. She knows how to dissolve the ego, and she takes this skill to its ultimate extreme. This is why in many tantric texts, it is said that the initiation by a female guru, a female Aghori, is the most potent. Her energy does not just come from practice, it comes from the primordial Shakti itself. There are whispers that some of the most powerful siddhis attained in the Aghori tradition were not by men, but by women who walked in silence, unknown to the world. But let us not make the mistake of thinking that male and female Aghoris are in competition. The very foundation of this path is the breaking of dualities. Man and woman, pain and pleasure, life and death, all collapse in the state of Aghora. What we must understand is that the journey of the female Aghori is often harder, sharper, and more painful. And therefore, when she arrives at dissolution, the radiance of her Shakti is blinding. Another hidden truth is this: society fears the female Aghori more than the male. Why? Because she not only rejects the rules, she rejects the very foundation of patriarchy that tries to bind her. A male Aghori shocks society, yes, but a female Aghori terrifies it. For she shows that no power, no boundary, no rule can contain the feminine once she chooses to awaken. She is no longer the obedient daughter-in-law, the dutiful wife, the silent mother. She becomes Kali herself, naked, ash-smeared, dancing in the cremation ground, laughing at the face of death. In this sense, yes, the female Aghori is more powerful. Not because she is stronger than a man, but because her rebellion is more complete. Her leap is more dangerous. Her fire burns more intensely. The male Aghori renounces a part of society. The female Aghori renounces the very core of it. So when you ask, are female Aghoris more powerful than male Aghoris? The answer is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that their journey demands more courage, more fire, more surrender. No, in the sense that ultimately, there is no male or female. There is only Shiva, there is only Shakti, and the two are inseparable. The path of the Aghori does not measure who is higher or lower, who is greater or lesser. It only asks, who has dissolved completely, who has seen the truth that all is one. In that ultimate state, the question of man or woman vanishes. There is only the boundless, formless, eternal. But for us who are still bound by society, it is important to recognize the silent, hidden force of the female Aghoris. They are the living embodiment of Shakti, fierce, compassionate, destructive, nurturing. Their stories are not written in books, but whispered in the smoke of funeral pyres, carried by the winds of the cremation ground, remembered only by those who dare to ask. So next time you think of an Aghori, do not imagine only the male ascetic. Remember also the women, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters who threw away all roles, who walked into the fire and became fire itself. Remember that they are perhaps the greatest proof that the feminine is unstoppable once awakened. And now I ask you, what do you think? Are female Aghoris truly more powerful than their male counterparts? Or is power itself just an illusion when all dissolves into Shiva? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this wisdom touched you, subscribe to the Aghori Code for more rare insights into Sanatan Dharma and the fearless path of the Aghoris. Together, let us uncover truths that the world has forgotten and awaken the courage to face reality without fear.